Hello, football fans. Welcome to Football News Daily. Before we talk about goals, trophies, or legends, we need to talk about something more powerful. We need to talk about decisions, because football history was not written only on the pitch. It was written in small rooms late at night by people who never touched the ball. One decision, one signature, one moment of belief or doubt. And if those moments went the other way, football would look completely different today. This is not a story about talent. This is a story about destiny. Football is not fair. It never was. We like to believe that the best players always succeed, that hard work always wins, that talent always finds a way. But football does not work like that. For every superstar you know, there are thousands you never heard of. Not because they were bad, but because football did not choose them. Cristiano Ronaldo was not born a legend. He was born on a small island called Madeira, far from the big academies, far from the big stadiums. As a child, he was thin, emotional, and often cried. Other kids laughed at him. Coaches doubted his body. There was nothing guaranteed about his future. Lionel Messi's story was even more fragile. He was born with extraordinary talent, but his body was weak. Doctors said he might never grow properly. Without treatment, his football dream would end before it began. Talent alone was not enough. They needed help. They needed belief. They needed the right decision at the right time. And most players never get that. Every year, academies reject thousands of boys, not because they lack talent, but because there is no money, no space, no patience. Football does not wait. At Sporting Lisbon, young Ronaldo trained harder than everyone. He stayed after sessions. He repeated drills alone. But effort does not guarantee success. One coach not liking you can end everything. One scout missing your match can erase your future. Ronaldo was close to becoming just another talented winger who never made it. Then came one friendly match, Manchester United versus Sporting Lisbon. It was not a final. It was not a tournament. It was supposed to be meaningless, but destiny was watching. Ronaldo ran at defenders with fearlessness. He embarrassed experienced players. United stars were shocked. After the match, players went to Sir Alex Ferguson and said one thing: sign him. Now. Even then, it was not guaranteed. Manchester United had other options, safer options. Experienced players. Ronaldo was a risk. Skinny, young, unproven. One wrong decision, and he disappears from elite football. That night, Sir Alex Ferguson made a choice, not based on statistics, not based on numbers, based on instinct. The next morning, Cristiano Ronaldo signed for Manchester United. That single decision created one of the greatest careers in football history, but it could have gone the other way. At the same time, in Barcelona, another decision was being delayed. Lionel Messi was only a child. His treatment was expensive. Barcelona hesitated. They asked themselves hard questions. What if it fails? What if his body never recovers? What if we waste money on a boy who never plays? Weeks passed. Silence. Messi's family waited. An entire future waited. Then, in a restaurant, without official papers, something incredible happened. A Barcelona director wrote a promise on a napkin, a simple commitment to sign Messi. That napkin changed football forever. Without it, Messi returns to Argentina. No La Masia, no magic, no greatest dribbler the game has ever seen. Think about that. Two legends, saved by moments nobody talks about. And these are the ones who survived. Thousands did not. Boys who were injured at the wrong time. Boys who were rejected once and never recovered. Boys who lost belief. Football remembers winners. It forgets the rest. And that is the uncomfortable truth. This is only the beginning of the story. Because next we will talk about the injuries that destroyed careers, the tournaments that almost disappeared, and the talents football completely lost. Football is not just a game. Football is destiny. Football does not stop to wait for anyone. While the world celebrates legends, football quietly destroys dreams every single day. For every Ronaldo and Messi, there are thousands of players who were just as talented, sometimes even more talented, but disappeared without a name. Why? Because football is decided by timing. Injuries are the most silent killers of football dreams. A player can train his entire life, sacrifice everything, and still lose it all because of one injury at the wrong moment. Many young players get injured before their first professional contract. No insurance, no protection, no second chance. Clubs move on quickly. Football has no memory for pain. One injury and the phone stops ringing. One surgery and scouts stop watching. History is full of talents who were called the next big thing until their body betrayed them. They are never shown in documentaries. Their names are never discussed. They simply disappear. Even legends were close to this edge. Ronaldo suffered serious injuries early in his career. Knee problems, ankle pain. At any point, a bad recovery could have slowed him forever. Messi's body was fragile for years. Muscle injuries followed him constantly. There were seasons where people questioned if he could survive long-term football. One wrong medical decision in his career changes completely, but they survived. Not because they were lucky alone, but because the right people protected them. Most players do not get that protection. Football is not equal. Then there are tournaments. We think football has always been stable, always organized, always global. That is not true. There were times when football almost collapsed. Wars stopped leagues. Politics divided countries. Players were sent to fight instead of play. Stadiums were destroyed. Calendars were empty. For years, international football was uncertain. There were serious discussions about ending major tournaments, not postponing, ending. Imagine a world without global competitions, no shared moments, no universal memories. Football would remain local, small, limited. It was belief that saved it. People who believed football could unite when everything else failed. That belief built the modern game. But even today, football is fragile. Money controls decisions. Politics influences outcomes. Business comes before dreams. Young players are signed and discarded like products. If you succeed fast, you are loved. If you struggle, you are replaced. There is no patience. Social media made it worse. One bad match and the world attacks you. One mistake and confidence disappears. Many careers end mentally before they end physically. Pressure destroys talent faster than defenders ever could. Football does not forgive weakness, and yet fans only see the winners. We celebrate trophies. We argue about greatness. We forget how close everything was to not existing at all. We forget how fragile success really is. Every legend you admire was one moment away from failure. Every career you love survived chaos. And right now, somewhere in the world, a young player is standing at the same edge, waiting for a decision, waiting for belief, waiting for destiny. Some will be chosen, most will not. That is the reality of football, and this story is far from over, because next we will talk about the players football completely lost, the talents that never reached the world stage, the greatest what-if stories in football history. Football does not always choose the best, it chooses the survivors. Football history is full of names we celebrate, but it is also full of names we never learned. Some of the greatest talents never became stars, not because they lacked ability, but because football moved on without them. These are the lost stories, the players who were almost legends. In every generation, there are players called special. They dominate youth football. They destroy opponents. They are called the future, but the future is fragile. One wrong transfer, one bad coach, one season on the bench, and the magic disappears. Some players peak too early. They shine before their body is ready, before their mind is strong. Pressure crushes them. They are compared to legends before they even understand the game. The media builds them up, then destroys them. Confidence dies quietly. Others are victims of politics inside clubs. Managers change. Systems change. A player who fits one coach becomes useless to the next. Football does not care about fairness. Then there are players who choose the wrong club, not for football, but for money. They leave development too early. They stop growing. Talent without growth is useless. Football punishes impatience. There are also those who were never seen, born in countries without exposure, without scouts, without academies. They play on dirt fields. They play with broken shoes. Talent exists there too, but football never looks. History forgets them before it even knows them. Every legend stands on top of a mountain built on invisible failures. For one player who makes it, thousands disappear. And yet fans only see the final product, the trophies, the celebrations. They never see the broken dreams. Even today, football continues this cycle. Young players are signed at younger ages. Pressure comes earlier. Mistakes are punished faster. The game is faster, harsher, less forgiving. Mental strength matters more than skill. Those who survive become legends. Those who don't become silence. And silence is the cruelest ending. Football does not remember potential. It remembers results. That is why so many stories were never told. But the future is still being written. Somewhere, a young player is training alone, ignoring doubts, ignoring fear. He does not know if football will choose him, but he keeps going, because that is the only way. Football does not promise success. It only offers a chance, and only a few are brave enough to take it. This is not the end of the story, because the present and future of football carry the same danger. And in the final part, we will talk about what football is becoming, what it is losing, and what it must protect. Football is changing, and destiny is watching. Football is alive because of those who survive. But survival is not enough anymore. The game is changing faster than ever. Money drives decisions. Politics controls transfers. Social media judges every mistake. A player is no longer just a footballer. He is a brand, a story, a statistic. One bad tweet, one wrong move, one failed season can ruin a career. And yet somewhere, the next Ronaldo or Messi is being ignored. The next great talent is waiting for a chance that might never come. Football history repeats itself. Every generation faces the same talent alone is never enough. Destiny decides who rises. Some players grow against all odds. Some disappear quietly. Some are remembered forever. Others are erased from memory before the world even knew their names. We celebrate legends. We argue about the greatest. We glorify trophies and records. But football is more than that. It is struggle. It is patience. It is surviving the world that wants to discard you before you can succeed. Every goal we cheer, every match we watch, every trophy lifted, there is a story behind it. A story of pain, sacrifice, near failure, and a single decision that changed everything. Imagine how fragile football really is. Imagine how close the greatest moments were to never happening. Imagine the players who almost were legends but vanished quietly. The truth is simple. Football is not fair. It is selective. It rewards survival, not just talent. It rewards belief, timing, in the right people seeing you at the right moment. And this continues today. In stadiums, in training grounds, in academies around the world. Destiny is still deciding. It is still choosing. And somewhere, right now, a future legend is walking the same path as Messi and Ronaldo did. He is facing doubts, fears, injuries, and people who do not believe in him. He is taking the same risks, waiting for the same chance. Football is not just a game. It is a test of will, of courage, and of survival. It is a story written in moments invisible to the fans, moments that change lives forever. So when you watch the legends on the pitch, remember this. They are not just great because they scored more goals. They are great because they survived the chaos. They are great because someone, somewhere, believed in them when everyone else did not. They are great because destiny allowed them to survive. And for every superstar, there is a quiet story of almost failure, almost defeat, almost erasure, a story that makes their success even more extraordinary. Football is not predictable. It is not guaranteed. It is alive because of risk, struggle, and the invisible choices that decide everything. So remember this, football fans, every kick, every match, every contract, every injury, it matters. Destiny watches it all, and the future of football will always depend on the decisions we cannot see. Because in football, as in life, survival is everything. Talent alone is nothing. Belief, courage, timing, and the right choices are what make legends. And the story of football is far from over. The next Messi, the next Ronaldo, the next legend could be right now waiting silently, about to change the game forever. Football is destiny, and destiny never stops. If football is more than a game for you, subscribe to Football News Daily and comment, "Protect football's future."